Hello and welcome to the Korean Beauty Show podcast. I'm your host, Lauren Lee, lawyer turned entrepreneur and founder of Korean skincare brand Jellyco. If you want to keep up to date with all the latest Korean beauty trends and perfect your own routine in the process, then you are in the right place. As a long-term resident of Seoul, South Korea, I've been working in the industry for well over a decade, and on this show, I translate all the latest industry news to let you know what is going on in the industry in Korea and abroad. On today's episode, I am giving my predictions for the Korean beauty trends that we are going to be seeing more of in 2025. So welcome to the show. This is the time of the year when I typically do have a bit of a guess, an educated guess, I would say, about what we are going to be seeing more of in the next year. And, you know, it might sound a little bit like mystical forecasting or whatnot, but I think what usually tends to happen is that, you know, certain trends we start kind of seeing at a micro level and then they kind of build and we can see what's going to be going through into the new year. You know, I attend a lot of industry events, trade shows, expos and stuff like that. And you can kind of get a little bit of a flavor for what's going on, what brands, companies, and consumers are focusing on. And so really, it's not really that much of a guess. It's more just think we'll probably be seeing more of this. The other thing I would say is that, you know, Korean beauty is very, very trend based. Yes, but I feel like we are seeing trends that are carrying through year after year after year. So some of the ones that I'm not going to bother covering on today's episode, just because I feel like we have discussed them at length before already on the show. Skin microbiome and microbiome ingredients. I think we are definitely going to be seeing more of them in 2025. There is no doubt about that. But we've had so many episodes already kind of focusing on that already, what that looks like, the key ingredients that are involved. So what I'll do is I'll just pop a link in the show notes to those. If you are, maybe you missed them or you want to hear them again and, you know, hear me talk a little bit more about those kind of trends, I'll put them in the show notes, but I'm not going to go through them again today just because it makes me feel like a bit of a broken record if I'm saying the same thing over and over again. The other thing is, particularly when it comes to Korean beauty, we have not really been able to avoid or escape from the clean beauty trend, and all of that kind of encompasses and the focuses and the what's not in products and all of that. I'm not going to do that one again either. I think if you are a long-term listener of the show, long-time listener, you probably be a little bit sick to death of hearing my thoughts on all of that. So that I think we will be seeing more of, but I'm going to focus some more on the stuff that we haven't really gone into any detail or depth on in the show and sort of give you my hot takes on those. So ingredients. I'm going to do ingredients today and focus on some other things next week just because, you know, there's a lot to get through. So for ingredients, one of the things that we have already started to see this year that I think is going to be big next year as well is exosomes. So these are, you know, there is science behind a lot of the ingredients that I'm going to be discussing on today's show. I think the gray area is how much of the science and what we know about what these ingredients can actually do is transferable to topical skincare as opposed to injectables. So I'm going to get into that a little bit more. But the science for exosomes is that they can actually stimulate collagen and elastin production, which are two of the critical proteins basically for, you know, maintaining your skin in its elastic and firm condition. So by promoting the synthesis of these structural components, exosomes can then help to reduce the appearance of wrinkles, improve your skin's elasticity, and all of the things that we look for in a really effective anti-aging treatment. So that is why they are gaining so much popularity. Basically, exosomes enhance the skin's natural healing process. They stimulate cell proliferation, migration, the formation of new blood vessels, which can be really helpful in promoting scar and wound healing, and, you know, give you smoother skin with less visible scars. So if you are a person that has acne scarring like I do, things like this are very, very exciting because the science is showing that this can be a really effective arsenal in our tool to fight things like acne scarring. So I think where it comes to, being a little bit more of a gray area, obviously there are a lot of products being developed that are designed to be injected into the skin. So if you are doing a treatment, for example, like microneedling, a lot of people will then be injecting exosomes after to sort of promote cell renewal and skin healing. So that is kind of like a typical use case. And there are a lot of clinics in Korea that are doing exactly that. Dermatologist offices, skin clinics, plastic surgeons, this is how they are incorporating exosomes into their treatments. I think the reality is that for the time being, there is very little chance that they are doing any of those above things that I just mentioned, like cell proliferation and the formation of new blood vessels, if you are applying this in a topical skincare product like a serum. So from what I have been able to research about these, they are very unstable. So they are not even likely to be effective in cosmetics for that long. I think I would put this in the same category as some other crazes that we've seen over the years, things like stem cells and whatnot, or even, to a certain extent, microbiome skincare. That is still in its infancy in many ways. We understand that the skin has, this microbiome and that keeping it healthy and in good balance is really, really important for our skin. But what we don't know is how to take effective doses of a lot of the, probiotic and live bacteria and actually apply them to our skin. So that is where we kind of need more research. So I think a lot of brands are kind of jumping onto this trend of exosomes and popping it in everything. But, whether they are selling you something that is actually going to work and do what it says for the skin, I have pretty big doubts at the moment. I would not go out and spend a lot of money on a lot of these products just yet. However, having said that, I do feel like we will be seeing a lot more of this in 2025. I think if you are the kind of person that, maybe you do have acne scarring or you do have, skin textural issues or things like that you're looking to have treated, and you're in a clinical setting in a dermatologist's office and exosomes are on the menu or one of the treatment options, that is the kind of thing that I would be definitely paying attention to because I think there are very, very promising results and data for them. Topical skincare, I'm a little less bullish on, let's say. So look, before I go through the rest of the ingredients, just a reminder that if you do love Korean beauty products, we would absolutely love for you to try ours. Our brand Jellico is putting the fun back in functional skincare. It is a brand that we have developed after more than a decade working in the industry. We handpicked the cosmetic chemists in Korea who we love. We love their products. We love their work. We teamed up with them to create our own collection that is designed to give you juicy, bouncy jelly skin. We launched in 2020, the same year that this podcast launched, actually, and we are now available in a couple of places. You will find us globally on our website, jellico.com. That's co with a K-O for Korea. We are on Amazon in Australia and the US. We are now available in the US at ecosmetics.com, a huge beauty retailer online. We are available at CO Bigelow in New York City, and we are also available at Jardin Pharmacy in Australia offline as well. If you cannot get your hands on our products, we would still absolutely love for you to support us. And you can do that even just by following us on social media, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, wherever you hang out. We are at Jellico_official. One of our goals for 2025 is to increase our retail distribution around the world. And we've actually been told by multiple of the beauty buying teams that they will not consider our brand unless we have at least 20,000 followers on social media. That is apparently the magic number for some retailers. That is not an easy feat, especially today. You need a pretty big marketing budget to pull those kind of numbers. So we would absolutely love your support to help us reach our goal. Even if you can just give us a follow and a like, that would be incredible. All right, let us jump into some more trending ingredients that I know that we are going to be seeing more of in 2025. I can't believe we're even talking about 2025. My gosh. Anyway, the Ectoin. Ectoin is one of those ingredients, and I have already put my money where my mouth is. We are already formulating with Ectoin for Jellicoe. I was so excited when I saw all of the data for this ingredient, just because I know that it is going to be a game changer for a lot of people that have a skin type that's similar to mine, which is acne prone, very reactive. I have rosacea, just anything you can think of. This ingredient, I was really, really excited. So Ectoin, what exactly is it? Basically, it's one of these substances that was discovered in really, really harsh conditions, like you're thinking salt lakes and deserts and stuff like that. Places where life is very, very unsustainable, this kind of ingredient, it's called an extremolite, and it basically shields organisms, stabilizes their proteins and cell membranes to protect them against things like heat, cold, dryness, all of that. So that is what it is. It is a natural amino acid derivative, and when it is used in a skincare setting as a skincare ingredient, it has a lot of different benefits. One thing I love about Ectoin is that it really does combine the benefits of a lot of different skincare ingredients into just one. So if you think of hydrating, like a hyaluronic acid style thing, this does that. Ectoin does that. If you think of niacinamide and its, ability to, protect the skin, it's great for, pores and things like that. Ectoin also does that. If you think of ceramides and, supporting the skin, supporting its barrier function, Ectoin also does that as well. So it's basically just like a superstar ingredient. It has a lot of different functions, a lot of different things it can do. It can reduce irritation. It makes your skin more resilient against external environmental aggressors, things like pollution, dryness, heat, wind, all of that kind of thing. I think one of the trends that we've been seeing in Korean beauty and that we will continue to see is this focus on the really important function that our skin's barrier plays, and keeping the barrier in tip-top shape to prevent moisture loss, to defend our skin against sensitivity, dehydration, all of those kind of things. So Ectoin is just an absolute superstar for that. We updated our Best of Beauty award-winning Cherry Blossom Sleeping Mask this year in 2024, and Ectoin was one of the ingredients that we added into it. We also removed the artificial fragrance from it as well, just so that even more people can use that product. So it is now literally just this hydrating, cooling, soothing jelly that protects your skin that you pop on overnight and you wake up in the morning just to bouncy, soft skin. People often will drop into our DMs and inbox and be like, cannot believe the difference that this product made in my skin in literally like a night or two. I had patches of dryness or whatnot, and going to bed with this mask, within a day or two, those patches were gone. So that's the kind of benefits that you can, get from an ingredient like Ectoin, and that is why so many K-beauty brands are, starting to get interested in it, formulating with it. I personally love it. So that one I just think for sure we are going to be seeing more of. Now, another one of these scientifically based ingredients that is a little bit more iffy when it comes to your topicals is PDRN. So it was also rising in popularity throughout the year in 2024. Undoubtedly, we are going to be seeing more of it in 2025. What exactly is it? So PDRN, it stands for polydeoxyribonucleotide, and it's basically a proprietary and registered drug. It has lots of different functions: tissue repairing, anti-inflammatory, therapeutic properties. Like, we're talking drug style properties. And this is the other reason that it can be a little bit iffy when it is being used in regular skincare products. Why? Because in a lot of places there are limits on the claims that you can make about your product if it is a regular skincare product as opposed to a drug. And so sometimes on this show I will share with you news about like Korea's regulators, the MFDS, cracking down on brands that are making claims that they're not supposed to make about their products. It's for stuff like this. Similar legislation exists in the US, similar legislation exists in Australia. It is enforced to varying degrees in different jurisdictions, but in this case, PDRN has like a lot of scientific data that actually shows how good it is. It is extracted from salmon's DNA. So you will sometimes hear it being referred to as like salmon sperm and, salmon injections and all of this kind of thing. It is the key component in the Rejurin collection of injectable products. So Rejurin is one of these skin boosters is what they're being called, and it's basically a type of injection. It's not a filler and it's not Botox. It's designed to actually improve the health of your skin, and you get them injected in a clinical setting by a professional all over your face, and it can actually help the skin to regenerate and heal itself. Now, there are different types of the Rejurin healer injections. Some of them are better for boosting hydration, others of them are better for acne scarring and whatnot. So this is actually not a new ingredient. It has been used in K-beauty for quite a while. I think it is seeing a resurgence at the moment, thanks in large part to a few TikTok viral K-beauty brands that have very, very big marketing budgets. I've seen a whole lot of different brands putting out products to market. Rejurin has come out with their own collection of skincare products that are not injectables. So a lot of people, if they already know the Rejurin brand, they want to try the skincare products. Just keep in mind that you are not going to see the same results from a topical skincare product as you would if you went to a dermatologist and had this injected into your face. Like, that is just a fact right there. And if any brand or person is trying to tell you otherwise, they are probably just trying to sell you something, or they are just, at worst, maybe a little bit uninformed. So it's not the same thing. Having said that, lots of different brands putting out these products to market: Jenabelle, VT, CNP, Medicube. And look, people are really enjoying a lot of these products. So I don't want to diss anyone that has tried one of these products and absolutely loves them. I do think that they are going to offer some benefits for your skin, but are they going to offer the benefits of like a Rejurin injection or, a salmon DNA injection? They're just not. So I think if you were talking about what you would prioritize, if you only had so much budget set aside and you wanted to try this, I would probably save my money personally to go and get the injections rather than the topical skincare products, just because I think that is where you're going to see your best results. So just something to keep in mind if this is one of the things that you have been, wanting to try out. Having said that, do I think we are going to be seeing more of these in 2025? 100% yes. Just keep that in mind. Some of the marketing that you are going to be seeing is not going to be maybe the most accurate in terms of what it will do for your skin if you were just applying it in a cream or a serum. So just a little caveat there to keep in mind. Now, another ingredient that has been growing in popularity this year, and I think we will see more of in 2025, is Heartleaf. So this is a flowering plant, and it gets its name because the leaves look kind of like little hearts. It's native to Southeast Asia. So it's rich in flavonoids, polyphenols. It's known to have natural antibacterial and anti-inflammatory products, which is why a lot of brands will tout its ability to, calm irritation, prevent breakouts, neutralize free radicals, all of that kind of thing. It is in a lot of K-beauty products at the moment. Goodall uses it, a Bib, Mixsoon, a Newer. Some are more useful than others, I would say. And again, when we're talking about the claims that can be made about, Heartleaf, it will also depend on a lot of different things. It's not like just because Heartleaf at a broader level can do this, that every individual product will do this as well. It will come down to formulation, how much of the ingredient that they're actually using, how pure it is, all of those kind of things that can be a little bit hard to decipher if you are just the average consumer. One of the products that was really, really viral on TikTok that I thought was not that special for me personally was the Anua Heartleaf ampoule. I found it to be very moisturizing and hydrating, but that was pretty much all it did. It didn't sort of calm any breakouts or redness or help my rosacea in any way. So I think, some of the claims about some of the products may be, again, a little bit iffy, but in general, Heartleaf has very promising potential, and I can see why it's a really, really popular ingredient. We are definitely going to be seeing more of that. So if you were wondering, what even is that? I would put this in a similar category to your Centella asiatica. So if you're a person that really enjoys Centella-based products, I think Heartleaf is another one you might enjoy. Mugwort, to a lesser extent, I think this is also similar to that as well. Now, another ingredient trend that has exploded in 2024, and I think this might have been on my list for last year, but I'm keeping it on the list again for next year, is peptides, just because of how many new products have hit the market that feature peptides. I feel like this is not going away anytime soon. So peptides, if you're wondering what they are the building blocks of proteins. They can penetrate the skin, they help moisturize it, smooth lines and wrinkles. Definitely not a new ingredient, but it is still trending. And there are literally hundreds and hundreds of different types of peptides. So you kind of need to sort of trawl through to work out even what you're dealing with. So some of the ones that you will find in skincare, copper peptides, you might have seen them, tripeptide 5, tripeptide, all of these different numbers, palmitol dipeptide, palmitol tripeptide, tetrapeptides, lots and lots of different names, and they all have, similar, I would say, but maybe slightly different impacts on the skin. Things like helping to reduce the appearance of fine lines, skin conditioning, boosting the skin's barrier, soothing properties, all of those kind of things. Basically helping your skin to become more resilient. Again, I would say just temper your expectations a little bit. I think going in with a realistic expectation of what a product with peptides in it can do for your skin will help you to avoid disappointment. I think if I could just make one key takeaway from all of these ingredients, it would be just to, keep that in the back of your mind. What is realistic to expect these products to do? If you have a gaping open wound on your face and you apply exosomes to it in a topical skincare product, that is probably not going to work out very well for you. But, can we expect, decent results in terms of skin conditioning and anti-aging benefits? Yes, you can. So that would probably be the one takeaway I would say from all of this. Another ingredient that I won't go into, just because I feel like we have spoken about it many times on the show, we've had dedicated episodes. Retinol is obviously huge at the moment in K-beauty. In 2024, it was one of the biggest trending ingredients. That is not going to change. Now that the companies have worked out that consumers are behind it, that they are enjoying and loving their retinol-based products, I think we are going to be seeing more of them next year as well. So in a nutshell, what do I think is the biggest ingredient trends that we will be seeing? Scientifically backed ingredient trends, moving a little bit away from plant extracts and, the focus that we've had in the last few years with all of those different ingredients derived from nature. So, all of the centellas, the mugworts, the propolis, all of that kind of thing, which, they definitely still have their place in K-beauty. I'm not saying that we're not going to see them anymore, but I think we are starting to see the shift towards more scientifically backed, newer, innovative kind of ingredients that are being used in clinical settings, and how can we adapt them to topical skincare, which overall I think is an absolutely great advancement. I think we're going to be seeing some really, really interesting technology results, encapsulation methods and ways of trying to innovate with these ingredients. But like I said, just to temper expectations for the time being, a lot of this stuff is still in its infancy. We need more data, we need more research, we need basically just more information before we understand how this all works in a topical setting as opposed to a clinical setting. Because even though some of these drugs have a long history of being used exactly like drugs in a clinical setting, it's not necessarily the same in our skincare products. So that is my little TED talk. Thank you for coming. If you're still here, thank you for sticking around. I will be back in your ears with another trend forecast, part 2, the last part, where we're going to be talking about products and tech that I think that we are going to be seeing more of in 2025 as well. So thank you for joining me. If you have enjoyed today's episode, I would absolutely love it if you can rate and review the show, either on your favorite podcast app. If you are watching the show on YouTube, I would love for you to hit the like and subscribe button. And until next time, I will see you on jellyco.com.